And welcome back to Let's Play Minecraft. Today's missions are collect 32 Obsidian. Let's also paint one of our banners. And then finally, let's go ahead and explore a new biome that we haven't been to yet before. So that'll be mission goal number 3, explore a new biome. By the way, I hope you appreciate my fancy subtitles. Mr. Sheep, you are not supposed to be trampling my crops. Yeah, that's why we put a fence around them. Anyway, it's been a while since I produced a video, so I apologize for the delay. I've had some computer issues, and also quite frankly, I just got really distracted with another instance of Minecraft, a modded instance. And, I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about that, because I think you're going to enjoy an idea that I have for my next LP once I finish this series, or perhaps at the same time. As you know, this is a vanilla Let's Play survival series, and so, you know, it's pretty generic and pretty straightforward. Oh, and by the way, you know, you're probably like sitting there like, why? What happened from last time? Why didn't he explain what happened last time? Well, what happened is I found my way back. I just kept following the coast there where the game froze, and I kept going to the right, and eventually that desert gave way to my island, which then I went around this sort of mountain area, and I followed it in and made it back to my place. So, you know, nothing too exciting really. We were actually really pretty close when the game crashed. So, and it turns out Survival Island is just off of my main island. And anyway, if you want to see what I mean, just go back and look at the map from last episode. I don't think I'm gonna have any maps in this episode, so you know, deal with it. Right now, I'm just doing some boring chest inventory management stuff. I promise that I'm going to cut all the rest of that out. In fact, I should have cut this out, but anyway, enough about that. So, obviously we're going to need a few diamonds to go obsidian mining. Now, you can get obsidian by mining it, which is the traditional way, or you can make it by getting buckets of lava and pouring water on the source blocks of that lava. And then you can either mine it from there, or if you're really good, you can mold your obsidian with the source lava blocks by pouring water on top of it in the shape that you want it to end up in. And usually you use like a cobblestone cast to make that happen. So, you know, you'd have to do that to make a portal. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. What we're going to do now, I mean, I'm just grabbing a few basic resources, and then we're going to head downstairs and just do the traditional obsidian mining. So this is about what I need here. I probably just need a little bit of food to take with me. So I do believe I will go ahead and do that once I, well, let's go ahead and put these extra blocks away. And I don't really know why I'm taking all of these blocks, but whatever. You know, the funny thing is, okay, so I last published a video a few weeks ago on this series, and even then, okay, so when I first started this series, it was probably like December or January, probably January, I guess, early January, maybe late December of 2014 going into 15. And at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. I was such a noob when I started this. But even by the time I recorded the last video several weeks ago, I had gained a lot of skill. So my audio commentary point was after the video recording point, and so I'm like looking at myself play, like, oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Well, now I have like mad skills. Like I have like really good strats and mad skills to conquer this game like no other. And okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but the point is I'm much better now than I was when I recorded the audio from the last video that I produced, and when I recorded all these videos, which was well over a month ago. I produced like 6 to 10 hours worth of video probably that I haven't yet commentated, so I'm going to be commentating it, of course, but the problem is my skill level is so much higher now than it was. And I'm so much better at remembering where things are and all that. Like, you get better at stuff. So, anyway, I skipped ahead to this cave here. Got a little music going in the background there. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, I think what I was doing here is just trying to experiment with getting the obsidian to appear. But, okay, so let me tell you a little bit about my idea for another LP that I want to do. This one's going to be heavily modded, and it's going to be, there's going to be 2 real gimmicks about it that make it different from other modded Let's Plays. I mean, it's not just going to be some boring modded Let's Play like, okay, so let's set up a quarry, okay, get a bunch of stone, okay, we'll put a Tinker's Construct thing in and, you know, smelt it, you know. We're not going to do any of that. I mean, we'll do some of that. That will all be involved in it, but realistically, what it's going to be, and please, I'm not sure if anybody's ever done this before, and if they have, I apologize, but as far as I know, this is an original concept, and so if anybody happens to watch this and copies it before I'm able to get those videos out, shame on you, but just remember I had the idea first, at least I think I did. And the idea is this. Basically, I think that a lot of mods are really cheaty, like Buildcraft, like quarries and stuff, forestry, auto harvesters. I can't remember the mod that has the mining robots, but that's really cheaty. You know, jetpacks can be kind of cheaty. I mean, there's just all sorts of cheaty things. Like, okay, cheaty in the sense that it makes the game a lot easier, but I know that there are things that happen in the game that make it a lot harder too, to balance that out. And they're fun, but I think they're like overpowered. So, or OP, as people would say in the gaming community. So I think what I'd like to do is create a mechanism to address that. And at the same time, I've been watching Ethos Let's Play in his modded world, and he's making great use of custom NPCs. And so I'm thinking, how can I do custom NPCs and also at the same time address the issue of mods being too powerful? Frankly, custom NPCs could be exploited in an overly powerful way. I mean, it's one thing just to have a guy who sits there and talks to you. It's another thing to create a guy who, in exchange for 1 rotten flesh, will give you like a stack of diamonds. I mean, you could literally program that in with the custom NPCs mod, but, you know, obviously I'm not going to do that. But I thought, you know, there are more innocuous ways of overpowered NPCs. You can have a guard. You can just up and create a guard to attack all enemies in a certain area, for example, and that would be pretty overpowered. So I thought, gosh, there's got to be a way I can use these mods and have fun, but at the same time address the issues of them being so powerful. And I figured it out. It's so easy. Well, kind of. I'm still working out the details. But basically, the idea would be a Minecraft through the ages concept. And basically what that would mean is that you would start out and your development would mirror the development of humankind. Because, you know, if you're just starting out, it doesn't make sense that you'd be able to just, you know, turn around and build a quarry right away. Well, for that matter, it doesn't make sense that you'd turn around and have, well, I don't know, redstone circuitry in place. I think what makes sense is that, you know, oh, by the way, I completed mission goal number 1, getting my obsidian there. I didn't show all of my obsidian mining, I just showed some of the highlights, but, and I put a couple trees in, just so you know, but, because I thought it'd be fun to experiment with growing trees underground. But anyway, so the idea would be this. You would start out basically in a sort of primitive paleo age, maybe even a pre-paleo age, and you know, you wouldn't be allowed to use any tools, certainly no metals. Maybe we'd start with Stone Age, maybe we'd do just wood even. And the idea would be you'd have a limited tech tree and limited availability to use items, and that includes modded items and the NPC mod. So, you know, with your initial starting, you might be able to use wooden tools and, you know, maybe hunt for raw food. kind of mirror like hunter-gatherer style survival, and I bet you there's mods that do that, like standalone mods. But here's the catch for what I want to do. After you survive for a little while in the Paleo age or whatever I just had to call it, then you can progress to the next age. Maybe it would be the upper Paleolithic age, where you basically, in order to progress, you'd have to develop a lot of resources for the previous age or otherwise complete some goal. So if you think about human history, leading into the Stone Age, this is when basically mankind was pretty much evolving at the same time we learned how to use stone tools. In fact, that's one thing that separates Homo sapiens from other species of ape. Here's some diamond. But anyway, the idea would be that, we'd... Oh, hang on. See, something interesting about this diamond deposit is actually 3 tall. I think. Yeah, 1, 2, and then you see that third one. That's 3 tall. That's weird. Usually they're 2 by 2 by 2 or smaller. So it's interesting to get a 3 by, or a what would that be? A 2 by 1 by 2 by 3 by 1. No, 2 by 3 by 2. I guess it would be. Kind of shape. But anyway, going back to my idea. So you'd like, okay, let me just give you one example. Kind of the starting. Let's say you could start out using wood tools, hunter-gatherer only for food, and, maybe shelter could only be built out of dirt, like a mound house, or, I wish the game had mammoth tusks, but it doesn't. If it had mammoth tusks, maybe you could build a mammoth tusk hut. Or I wish the game had leather as a block, so you could build like a leather tent kind of a thing. But anyway, since you'd be limited in your resource gathering to only wood and raw food and maybe some berries or whatever, apples, I guess, then maybe the goal would be collect 2 stacks of food plus 2 stacks of wood, and, maybe I would have a disposal system. I've seen mods that have like a hopper that triggers quests, but I think, or maybe I could use an NPC to do it. But basically, you'd give up these resources in exchange for advancing to the next age. So you'd go from the, let's say, call it the primal age there, to the Stone Age, and then you'd be, once you sacrifice those 4 stacks of resources or whatever, then you'd be in the Stone Age. You'd be suddenly entitled to cook food. You'd be entitled to make stone items and maybe wood huts and things like that. Certainly stone tools, and just kind of follow human progression like that. Eventually you'd advance to the Copper Age, where you could start using copper only, and then you'd advance to the Bronze Age, which, unfortunately, whoever did Tinker's Construct got bronze and iron backwards. It says bronze is more powerful than iron, and that's simply not true. But I'm sure I'll find a workaround. Basically, going through the different alloys in a similar order as did humans, and then using those to advance to the next stage, which could be like medieval times, and then the Renaissance, and then the Enlightenment or whatever, and eventually get to the modern information age and the space age, and use Galacticraft to go to some other planet. Now, at the same time I'm doing all these straight-up technology improvements, I could integrate the more fantasy-type mods in as well. Say you can't use Thaumcraft, for example, until the Middle Ages, or you can't use witchery until the Bronze Age. I don't even know when witches came about, but probably before the Bronze Age, I guess. Maybe Stone Age, you could, maybe there's certain things in certain mods that you could use. But basically, this would reward the player for getting through primitive periods, and it would also create this really interesting dynamic that has to do with advancing through the ages. It's not unlike, Age of Empires 2, where you have to advance to, like, the Castle Age before you can build a castle and stuff like that. So anyway, it's just an idea. Now, I went ahead and dug an alternative exit out from here, out from the underground place where I got all my obsidian. And so that's what I'm looking at here, and I'm just going to plug it up because I dug out in water, which is always a pain in the ass. One reason I wish that vanilla would let you have like a little mini map, but anyway, my modded series will have a mini map, so that'll be fun. I'm loving this modded series too. I'm obsessed with... I don't like building in the middle of nowhere. I like building in NPC villages, or building something and then putting an NPC village where I built the thing by moving villagers there. A lot of work, sure, but it's worth it. It's fun. So, and I think I mentioned this here before, but ultimately on this Let's Play, what I want to do is start a village here near my home, and maybe create a interlinked system of rails to get between the different villages, etc. We'll see what I choose to do there. But there's my new entrance. I like to put a little canopy thing like this over mine shafts to remind myself where they are. I always use this distinctive Stonehenge looking pattern with cobblestone. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna save me some trouble there. So I'm back down underground and I'm getting stuff from my chest. I want to get the the diamond and the redstone and the lapis and the gold and all the valuables up and out of there as quick as I can before I die again. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll load up my inventory with stuff and head back out. Now here's the desert. This is the legit entrance that I came through. And a creeper exploded in my face. That's always nice. Anyway, I just gotta head back to my house and complete the other 2 goals real quick. We're actually pretty close to the end of the video. The first quest, the mining the obsidian, took forever because it takes forever to mine obsidian. And you're lucky that you didn't have to sit there and watch me mine all of those 32 blocks. It was a pain in the ass. I wish I would have had my inventory out so you could have followed along during the speed up. But trust me when I say that was 32 blocks of obsidian. And it took forever. Okay. Here's my house. Just put up a few more torches. And let's go ahead and look at some dyes, because that's the next goal. Alright, I've got some flowers here. I guess I could use the flowers to make dye. Just remember, the dye does not come pre-made. You gotta just craft it in your crafting table using, or even your inventory. I just got home from work, so I'm like literally taking my pants off in the middle of this recording, so I apologize, but I just gotta get out of these pants. And sheep continue to give me trouble here at my wheat farm, but that's okay. I harvested it again, replanted it. Leaving a space like that between the rows does make it grow faster for sure, but it also produces a lower yield, so, you know, make your decision on that. Okay, so here's some flowers. Let me just... I want to see if I can grow the flowers naturally, if they'll spread out like mushrooms do. Now I know now the answer is no, but when I planted them, I thought, oh, maybe I can get them to grow. So that's what I'm doing here. Let's go ahead and make some red dye out of these poppies. So I made 4 red dye. Let's go ahead and grab the banners now, which are plain right now, and mostly backwards. Obviously, you should use an axe to remove those. Okay, so in order to get the banner to be painted, you got to take a banner that you made and put it in with the dye in a particular pattern. So let's do a diagonal and see what happens. Yeah, there we go, like a diagonal red stripe. That's okay. That'll work. Okay, so now I have accomplished mission 2, paint a banner. Yay! I'm always concerned that maybe I'm going to spell one of these annotations wrong. And I'm not going to notice it, and then it's going to get published, and you guys are going to be all critical of me. Okay, now to explore... Oh, well, let me try repositioning that so it's not floating real quick. There we go. That's better, if not a little bit boring, but oh well. I wish they could be placed at an angle like torches. Of course, then they take up like 4 blocks. Okay, so I'm going to go exploring... I guess they could be made to take up 3, but I digress. I'm going to go exploring, and look for another biome. Found a little cave. You know, this always happens where you find little caves and you're like, I really should explore that. I really should go there. But then you got to keep your eyes on the prize, man. You got to keep focused on what it is you're out there to do. Here, I'm out here to find a new biome and get back home, and that's it. So I'm not going to go down this cave. I'm going to continue on my way. And off to the right there, forward and to the right, the way I'm running there, right there, is a savanna biome. And I think that would qualify as a new biome. So let's go ahead and go there. One of the mods that I'm very fond of is Biomes Aplenty. They add like a bazillion different new biomes, which is great. Although, I feel like vanilla Minecraft has a pretty good balance about new things being in certain biomes and about initial hostility when you enter the new biome and things like that. Vanilla Minecraft does an okay job. The Biomes Aplenty just adds that much more. So here we are in the new biome. Mission complete. Explore new biome. Okay. So, you know, that's pretty much it for this video. That constitutes a complete decimation of all of the village tasks that, well, I don't know if the village wanted me to do them or not, but I did them. Why am I... Village? I'm totally blanking out. I'm sorry. Mission tasks. And there's no village, so... I'm a little sleepy from work, I guess. Anyway... That's going to do it. So we did succeed in getting to this biome. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, it was fun. And just remember, Professor Snuggles is looking out for you.